Hi, my name is Angie. I'm starting a pregnancy vlog. I'm really excited. This is a planned pregnancy, and one of the most exciting aspects of this is that I'm not even pregnant yet. So this is quite a journey, and the reason why I'm starting to document it now is because I really want to just be able to reflect and look back on all the feelings and the experiences that I went throughout trying to get pregnant, and even after I become pregnant and throughout the pregnancy. So this is just a really exciting chapter of my life. It's been 10 years since I was pregnant, 9 years since I birthed a child, and I am just so excited about all of the possibilities. Turns out there's so many different options for natural childbirth, which is what I'm attempting. And I want to just give you a little bit of my story. It starts back 10 years ago when I got pregnant, and he had a breech presentation, and we knew in advance, so they basically told me it was a complication, that the safest thing to do was a C-section unless I allowed them to manually turn him, which was too stressful for me and for my unborn son. So we just went ahead with the scheduled C-section. Now, I've been doing research this time around. I want to know what I'm getting into. I'm not young, I'm not naive, and I have already lived enough to know that following the majority is not always the best thing for people. Everybody follows the standard American diet, which is, all processed food. You go into a supermarket and all of the aisles are stocked with boxes and packages, and the produce aisle is this big compared to the rest of the supermarket. So I have already been learning that following the majority is not always best for me, and I know that it wasn't best for me and my son when I had a scheduled C-section. It wasn't what I wanted. It didn't have to be that way, it turns out. So when I had decided to, okay, let's do this, let's ditch the condoms and get going with this, the whole idea of it was just so inspiring. So I instantly started doing my research, the healthiest things to eat, what to do, what to really do to prepare my body for pregnancy. Obviously exercise, which is something I really need to do anyway. Also, diet, just eating healthy, which isn't too hard for me because I typically eat a pretty healthy lifestyle, a salad or two a day, lots of fruit in my diet. I try to keep as much wheat out of my diet as possible. I try to eat rice and whole grains. So then I started leading into, well, if I want a vaginal, I have to prepare to have some issues with going ahead with that since I had a C-section. I knew that some doctors are opposed to this, some hospitals are opposed to it, and even if they're not opposed to it, they have a whole lot of already set in stone procedures for that kind of situation. So I looked into a few hospitals. Most in my area will only deliver with a doctor, which is not what I wanted. I wanted a midwife, and even if they do deliver you, if you don't go into labor by your 39th week, they instantly give you a C-section due to possible risk. So that was just not an option to me. I continued more research. I found a hospital near me that has a midwife team, and they will deliver the baby, and they give you up to 41 weeks before a C-section. So I had just said, okay, well, this is probably it. This is probably where I'm going to have my baby. I will just let God be with me and hopefully go into labor before 41 weeks. So I started doing more research. I wanted a natural birth, no drug intervention whatsoever, no epidural. I want to be able to feel it. I want to be able to let my body do what it's supposed to do. I want to be able to know what's happening and feel what's happening to reduce complication. I'll deal with the pain. I just want as little complication as possible. And so, and that's something I never even researched. That just is what always made sense to me. What's the point of numbing yourself when you're trying to deliver a baby? The reason why you're feeling this pain is so you know what your body knows what to do, and you can mentally prepare yourself to know what to do. It just naturally makes sense to me. Like, why would you numb yourself? Like, if anything, just prepare yourself for the pain in a way that will really help make it smoother. But you need to be able to feel those contractions. You need to know when to start to bear slightly. I mean, often your body will just take over, but if it's numb, it can't take over. So, anyway, I'll get off my soapbox about that. I was, determined to do a natural birth. I started looking into different methods that people use to deal with it, and I went into hypnobirthing. I'm like, wow, this sounds awesome. I'm definitely going to purchase some hypnobirthing CDs and really prepare myself mentally. And then I started looking into the more spiritual aspect of delivering, and I'm like, yeah, I'll prepare myself emotionally and spiritually for this whole thing. And then I found another link connected to that on YouTube regarding orgasmic birth. Hold on one second. No! Just leave me alone for a little bit. I'll be done in a few minutes. Baby number 1 is now 9 years old. Ugh, I'm going to kill myself. Anyway, so then there was a connection to orgasmic birth, and I'm like, what? Orgasmic birth? Is this even possible? Is that even something I feel comfortable with? I'm not even sure. I have to look into myself some for this. And then I saw a link connected to that about unassisted birth. Now let me back up a second. About a week before I ran into this video, my girlfriend calls me up. She's 6 months pregnant, and she's like, and I've been thinking, I really don't think I want to deliver at a hospital. I'm like, awesome, I was thinking about that too, but I know a midwife won't deliver me in my home because I am a VBAC. Most of them, I believe it's illegal in Pennsylvania for a midwife to deliver you at home if you're a VBAC. So she was like, well, I don't even think I want a midwife. And I was like, what? What? Who's going to deliver your baby? She's like, Andrew. That's her boyfriend. I'm like, are you crazy? Are you drinking or smoking something right now? And she's like, no. Like, that happens to women all the time. They deliver on the